Right now at 10, he's accused of killing his parents and lying to police. Now, Chandler Halderson is about to face a jury. And as COVID cases surge over the holidays, what local health doctors say we can all do to protect ourselves in 2022. Plus, he's no longer a buck. Wait until you see what Antonio Brown did on a football field and why it cost him his job. That's all coming up at 10. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We, of course, start with weather and the bitter cold temperatures we saw all day. It's still going to be very cold tomorrow, but a bit of a warm-up is on its way, I think, in a couple days. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is outside on the weather patio and has your certified most accurate forecast. Breaking news tonight, students in the Beloit School District do not have school tomorrow due to a shortage of bus staff. The district says all staff are expected to report to work. Officials did not say what's causing that staff shortage with Durham busing. The long-awaited trial of Chandler Halderson is beginning tomorrow with jury selection. Prosecutors expect it to take about 3 weeks. Susan Simon takes a look back at the past 6 months and previews this trial.
The trial of Chandler Halderson begins nearly half a year after he initially reported his parents missing. On July 7th, Halderson reported his parents Bart and Krista Halderson missing from Windsor, saying he hadn't heard from them since July 2nd. The next day, News 3 Now spoke with Halderson about his parents' disappearance. Halderson said they were headed to a cabin in Langlade County. He didn't want to be on camera, but he did allow the conversation to be recorded.
They were picked up by their friends, who I never got the name of, and I assumed it was someone I was aware of, the close neighbors of theirs up the street, or their best friends down on the east side. So that's what I assumed. I never really asked any further.
Less than 24 hours after that interview, a set of human remains are found on a property in Cottage Grove. They are later confirmed as his father, Bart, and Chandler is arrested for allegedly providing false information to police.
At this point, we have an extremely complex investigation. We have a defendant who had 6 days, essentially, to hide evidence of this crime and lied to police in the course of this missing persons investigation, which he instigated.
At that time, the Dane County Sheriff's Office was holding out hope to find Krista.
At this moment, we are optimistic that Krista is still alive and well, and we will let the evidence from our investigation tell us otherwise.
But on July 14th, Krista's remains were discovered in the town of Roxbury. 1 day later, Chandler was charged in the murder of his father, and his bail increased to $1 million. In late August, he was formally charged in the death of his mother. During his next court appearance, Halderson stood silent in court and pleaded not guilty to all 8 charges against him.
We have an interactive timeline of the Halderson investigation right now on our website, channel3000.com/Chandler Halderson trial. We'll also be streaming the entire trial and have the latest developments each night right here on News 3 Now. Well, speaking of now, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is back on the weather patio with your certified most accurate forecast.
Yeah, microphone should be working now. We are looking at a cold night tonight, but not much in the way of wind. Temperatures this morning were below zero north and west of the Wisconsin River, above zero from Madison to the south and east. High temperatures generally are in the mid to upper teens, but we've fallen back to 8 degrees in Madison, but it's already at or below zero through much of the area north and west of the Wisconsin River. Wind chills about the same as the temperature, so they're not going to be much of a factor tonight. Look for a low of about 2 below zero and then steady temperatures overnight, a high tomorrow of 18, but we'll warm up to 31 on Tuesday before seeing some snow on Wednesday, followed by colder weather for the end of the week. I'll have more on that in the forecast in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you so much, Gary. A popular downtown restaurant is temporarily closed after its landlord allegedly stopped paying their bills. Paisans is currently locked out of its space on 131 West Wilson Street. The city of Madison asked the landlord to pay for a third party to inspect the building. Following following 2 reports of structural concerns late last year. Paisan's owner tells us that the landlord had no plans to do that. So now Paisan's is serving food out of its sister restaurant, Portobello, on Francis Street. But its owner says it cannot do that long term.
So to put Paisan's into a box and serve food out of it isn't exactly what we would like to do. We would like to continue to have a restaurant that we view as a place that people are going to want to go into, because not only are they going to get good service and food, but it's going to be a place that they're going to enjoy being in.
That was co-owner Wally Borowski, who says they have a few spots in mind to move Paisan's, but that move will be costly and time-consuming. He says it's very unlikely Paisan's ever returns to the space at 131 West Wilson. Another downtown restaurant is making headlines after it introduced a vaccine requirement. Beginning on Wednesday, Lucille will require every person to show proof of COVID vaccination and ID. Restaurant staff will also have to be vaccinated and provide a negative COVID test to be able to work. Students in Madison's school district will not be going back to school tomorrow. The district is extending its winter break and beginning the semester with virtual classes on Thursday. School leaders hope to return to in-person learning by Monday, January 10th. Officials say record levels of new COVID cases, staffing shortages, and extra time to test both their students and their staff led to this decision. Milwaukee Public Schools will also go virtual this week. District leaders say that's due to an increase in staff testing positive for COVID. The district also hopes to return to in-person learning on that January 10th date. It's been another frustrating holiday weekend for air travelers. Snow and COVID-related crew shortages are making things especially difficult at O'Hare in Chicago. More than 2,400 flights were canceled today across the country. New COVID infections right now are surging everywhere. The U.S. is averaging about 350,000 cases a day, fueled by the highly contagious Omicron variant. And last week, almost 400 children each day were hospitalized by the virus. The CDC says that's a 66% jump from the week before. And for those hoping to see the pandemic end in 2021, well, it did not happen. But in the practice of making a resolution for the new year, Christina Laurie talked with Dr. Jeff Pothoff of UW Health about his wishes for COVID in 2022 and whether or not he thinks it will come true.
If you are over talking, hearing, worrying about COVID,
there is just only so much that human beings can take before they say, you know what, like, I just can't do this anymore.
UW Health Dr. Jeff Pothoff is with you.
You see death and dying, so many days in a row. It just starts to wear on you.
Only he has spent more than 600 days fighting it firsthand.
You see kind of the sorrow that it causes, not only for the person that's affected. Oftentimes, they're in a coma. It's the family members that come in.
And he's exhausted.
This is preventable.
The pandemic isn't going the way Pothoff or any of the country's top doctors predicted. The Omicron variant is setting new records every single day. And the most frustrating part,
it didn't have to be this way. I think what made it worse is we all felt it was almost an emotional moment when vaccines became available, thinking this is it. We made it. All we got to do now is get vaccinated and this goes away.
4 of 5 people in Dane County are fully vaccinated, but statewide the vaccination rate is at 3 in 5, making it likely several who haven't gotten their shots.
My wish for 2022 would be easy. I would wish everyone would have a sudden change of heart. And we'd have very high vaccination rates in this country. We'd have very high rates of boosters.
One of the best ways to do that is encourage and remind your family and friends to get and stay protected.
And what we would see is likely COVID continuing, but we would see mild cases, folks who don't get very sick. They won't necessarily need to require a hospital.
Making a resolution that'll help us all this new year. In Madison, Christina Laurie, News 3 Now.
You can still schedule an appointment for a COVID vaccine or booster shot online anytime. We have links to do that on our website. We're following a developing story tonight out of Colorado. One of the 3 people missing from the Marshall fires has been found alive. Officials say 2 people are still missing. A search group has been combing through the charred homes that were destroyed by these wildfires you're seeing on the screen. FEMA is assigning 100 officials to assist the hundreds of people who lost their homes. An outspoken congresswoman from Georgia is being kicked off of Twitter. Twitter permanently suspended Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal account today. The company says she repeatedly violated its COVID misinformation policy. But it's not the first time she's lost her Twitter access. Her account was restricted after she shared misinformation about the 2020 presidential election. Greene still has access to her official congressional account. We are coming up on the one-year anniversary of the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, and federal officials are warning threat actors may take advantage of it. Officials are not citing any specific or credible threats just yet, but they say election fraud claims continue to resonate with people. Okay, the Packers are closing in on the NFC's top seed. If the Packers win, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Lambeau. And right now, Green Bay is on top of the Vikings. It says 30-10, but I believe it's 37-10. We'll have another update coming up soon in sports. It's one of the strangest moments you might ever see on a football field. Yeah, that's Antonio Brown taking off his shoulder pads, gloves, and jersey. Yep, there's the shirt toss in the middle of the Buccaneers game today against the Jets. Brown then ran into the end zone, not for a touchdown, but to wave to fans on his way back to the locker room. After the game, Bucs head coach Bruce Arians said Brown was cut. Tampa Bay ended up winning this game 28-24. Coming up at 10, why the city of Madison wants your used Christmas trees. Plus, prices are up and supply is down. Mark Kane will explain when you can expect car sales to pick up again. Stay up with us.
Pick and Save delivery is always fresh because we check our produce at every stop on its journey to you. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Thank you, honey. And thank you, kids. And thank you, me.
And here are your keys.
Did you know that every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? A 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. The value of a Toyota just keeps getting better.
It all ends January 3rd.
Toyota, let's go places.
We can't help what you do before you go to bed, but we can make sure the sleep is solid once you finally get there. And during the final days of the New Year's Super Sale at Denver Mattress, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or purchase a Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 gift. Check out the Summit Firm for only $249.99, plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. Here's to 365 nights of better sleep. Happy New Year from Denver Mattress.
In winter, you add an extra layer when you head outside. This year, you can do the same thing inside, too. A COVID booster makes your protection stronger, even against Delta and Omicron. So if you're vaccinated and 16 or older, give yourself an extra layer of protection in crowded stores, restaurants, wherever. Right when you need it most.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At Pick and Save, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales for prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Have you ever Googled yourself? You may be shocked at what you find.
We'll share some advice on keeping your personal information off the internet.
And temperatures are rebounding before another crash. We'll have the latest forecast Monday morning from 4:30 to 7.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Winner of the National Edward R. Murrow Award for Overall Excellence in Television.
If you've shopped for a new car lately, you already know about prices being up, supply being down, and we're just all tired of the chip shortage. Adding fuel to this fire are dealers making markups on popular cars. It's called market adjustment or live market price. Mark Kane has more on when cars might start appearing back on lots and one new model that has some dealers reaching for the stars.
It's a pretty common sight these days, nearly empty car dealer parking lots. And the vehicles the dealers do have, especially popular models, are selling for over the sticker price.
So you look at some of the dealerships, or I believe almost all the dealerships right now, have some vehicles or all vehicles that they're selling over manufactured suggested retail price. They're selling fewer cars. They can't sell them at 0 to no margin. The dealers are making more money per vehicle, but it is going right back into the dealerships.
But those high new car prices are tempered somewhat by the trade-in value of your old car. They've never been more valuable.
Your used vehicle is worth a lot of money right now, more than it ever would have been. I mean, it's an appreciating commodity right now. Cars don't do that, but they are. So if you have a car, even in just average shape or below average shape, you're going to get a nice trade-in price on that vehicle.
This all has to do with supply and demand, and one vehicle in high demand right now is the new Ford Bronco. News 3 Now's auto expert Harvey Briggs says jacking up prices on a hot vehicle is nothing new, but he's never seen a market adjustment quite like this. Harvey's seen markups of $30,000 over the sticker price, $75,000 for a $45,000 Bronco.
You know, I don't like it. I don't think it helps the dealer in the long run. I don't think it helps the manufacturers in the long run, because they're clearly taking advantage of consumers at this situation.
But Harvey does point out in better times, the dealers often sell cars below the sticker price because that's what the public has come to expect.
And as a consumer, you can choose to buy it or not. And so the idea, I would say, if you walk into a dealer and they have a market adjustment on a vehicle, walk out and start calling around.
And Bill Sepik from the Dealers Association points out the current supply problem is temporary.
We've seen the ups and downs, and it's secular, so there will be a glut of cars again. It just doesn't look like it in the near future. Well, we're hearing from the manufacturers that this is going to stretch into probably the last quarter of next year.
Patience, people. In Madison, I'm Mark Kane, News 3 Now.
Experts agree that if you don't need a new car right away, it's best to order one to get exactly what you want. You'll also avoid that dealer's markup. Next at 10, if you're hoping to see this year's Holiday Festival in Lights show on Olin Park, you'll have to hurry. Tomorrow's the last day the lights will be on for the season. That's some sad news. The lights were installed in early November. The show is free to drive through thanks to several sponsors. The lights will turn off tomorrow night at 10:30. Gary, I'm sure you've been out to see those lights. Those are beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, I've actually been there a couple of times and they've turned them on, but it's the end of the season and now we've got the snow on the ground, so it's going to stay cold. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for a sunny, very cold day tomorrow with highs in the upper teens. It'll be breezy and won't be as cold on Tuesday with high temperatures close to the freezing mark, but some snow showers or flurries develop from later Tuesday night into Wednesday, and that's followed by another shot of cold air. Temperatures already start to fall on Wednesday, and it'll be very cold on Thursday with high temperatures only in the lower teens, nighttime low temperatures in the lower single digits, and wind chills as cold as 20 below 0 in the morning. Friday, bitterly cold. Low temperatures between 5 and 10 below 0, and daytime high temperatures probably not even hitting the 10-degree mark. But as we look at the snow depth, that's part of the reason. We now have widespread snow cover across not only all of the upper Midwest, but for much of the northern half of the country. You can see that snow out west as well, and also some snow starting to occur in the southeastern part of the country on the back end of a storm system that brought some severe weather over the southeast. Winter storm warnings in effect from parts of northern Alabama and southern Tennessee all the way up into the Washington, D.C. area with winter weather advisories around that. And there are freeze warnings in effect all the way down to the Gulf Coast from New Orleans back westward into the southern portion of Texas. Weather track right now shows our upper level winds from the northwest bringing down that colder Canadian air and fueling that storm that still has the threat for some severe weather over southeastern Georgia and northern Florida for the next few hours. But then that'll be followed by the rain changing to snow and maybe some freezing rain into the mid-Atlantic states. Around here, the weather's quiet, but just cold. Weather track shows high pressure located just off to our south and west. Right now, winds are pretty light here, so temperatures are in the single digits above zero here, but below zero over the northwestern part of the state. And on future track, those winds come in out of the south beginning tomorrow afternoon, and that's what will start the temperatures going up. And by tomorrow night, we'll start to see, or by Tuesday night, we'll start to see some snow showers. Tomorrow, just a mostly sunny and very cold day with a high temperature of 18. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, 31 on Tuesday, windy with some snow showers and flurries from Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then another shot of cold air for the end of the week. We'll see some snow flurries with a brief warm up on Saturday, and another shot of cold air following that. That'll take us through at least the middle part of next week. I don't see any big storms in there. In fact, other than the snow chances Wednesday and a few flurries Saturday, not much in the way of precipitation there.
Gary, that Friday, that 9 degrees as a high, goodness gracious, that always scares you, doesn't it?
It's for one day, Brad. One day.
We'll make it through. Thank you, Gary. Okay. We're officially entering the post-Christmas cleanup season, tossing out stale cookies and that crumpled gift wrap. But if you're dealing with, not wanting to dump off your Christmas tree at the curb, there's now another option. Anna Hansen explains.
If your branches aren't looking as enchanting as they did a week ago, there's a place for them at Olbrich Park.
This is a really special opportunity to be able to make something like this for Madison.
Where local artist Lillian Sizemore sits at the ready, clippers in hand. Sizemore is building a labyrinth out of donated Christmas trees, set to open in the park on January 30th. Today marked day one of collection for the project, and community members came out in tremendous numbers.
Oh, look, here comes somebody.
John Trethaway is one of today's donors. For him, it's nice to be able to give back.
After the holidays, you have it up in your house, and now there's some place that it can go to be used further. Otherwise, it sits at along the street, and it may be there for up to a week.
With the added bonus of convenience.
When the needles start to fall, I'm done.
The labyrinth itself will take the shape of a classical labyrinth with an 89-foot diameter facing the sunset over Lake Monona.
I wanted to create this most open, vast space so that people can see where they're going.
It's all part of the Blink program, run by the Madison Arts Commission. Blink helps local artists propose and execute temporary installations.
We're thirsty as a community for projects that promote healing, that are COVID safe.
Arts Administrator Karin Wolf says the labyrinth is just as much of an opportunity for the community as it is for Sizemore.
We don't know where things are going, so when artists have a vision for something that will really promote positivity in the midst of some really difficult times, we want to support that and bring it to the community.
And with the trees coming in throughout the day, Sizemore is hopeful that her labyrinth will help everyone who walks through it feel a little less lost.
This is going to be a possibility that everyone can come here and gather in a safe space. Labyrinths are amazing, but they're not a maze.
In Madison, Anna Hansen, News 3 Now.
Donations for the project will be accepted at Olbrich Park each day from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. We have more information on how to donate at channel3000.com. Packers are perfect at home this season, and that is bad news for the rest of the NFC. An update from Lambeau next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I was thinking maybe
your mom's car.
Merry Christmas, Dad.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Grass looks great, Zeus. Hey, could you maybe trim the hydrangea too?
Sure thing, Kevin. You want me to do the box suits as well?
No. Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Hey, Medusa, let's boogie.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
Cold winds, ice, snowy, slippery conditions. Be prepared for winter weather. Trust the News 3 Now First Warn Weather Team to give you clear, timely, and accurate info. So when severe winter weather is coming, you'll have plenty of time to plan your life, keeping you safe and ahead of the storms. Your certified most accurate team, First Warn Weather, only on News 3 Now.
Think you know Madison? Test your city smarts in this month's interactive issue of Madison Magazine. Answer fast facts, solve a crossword, guess the year, and much more. Visit madisonmagazine.com and order your copy today.
News 3 and Channel 3000 put top stories and breaking news at your fingertips. Video alerts and forecasts. Clean, simple, and fast. Download the Channel 3000 app today. News 3 Now's Call for Action has settled hundreds of area consumer disputes, but we can't do it without our dedicated team of volunteers. Would you like to join us? Contact Call for Action by phone or visit channel3000.com to fill out an application now. Away from your TV? Not a problem. Get breaking news, weather alerts, and political coverage from the award-winning News 3 Now team. Plus, all things Madison. Stay connected anywhere with Channel 3000, Madison's #1 digital news source.
Final home game of the regular season, and the Packers need to make it count. If they beat the Vikings, they lock up the #1 overall seed since the Cowboys lost to the Cardinals earlier. Also, if they win, the Vikings are officially out of playoff contention. Knowing this, the Vikes make it tough for the Packers to find the end zone, but they finally do late in the second quarter. That's just the start. This game is wrapping up right now at Lambeau Field. At last check, the Packers led the Vikings 37-10 late in the fourth. Other NFC North games, Bears hosting the Giants this week. Chicago attacks from every which way. Defense holds Big Blue to just a field goal. Robert Quinn sets the franchise record for most sacks in a season. And Dave Montgomery finds the end zone twice as the Bears win this one 29-3. And the Lions are out on the West Coast facing Russell Wilson and company. There's a total of 10 touchdowns in this game. Lions are able to score 29 points without starting QB Jared Goff, but Seattle's dynamic duo of Wilson and DK Metcalf is just too much. They fall 51-29. Now let's check in with some pro Badgers as we just saw Russell Wilson goes off against the Lions this afternoon. QB1 finishes the day with over 200 passing yards and 4 tutties as the Seahawks rout the Lions. And every single week, Jonathan Taylor is all gas and no brakes. It's the same story today. He sets the franchise record for the most rushing yards in a single season. Plus, he's the first Badger in league history with 2,000 yards from scrimmage in a season. What better way to begin the new year than with a win? Well, that's just what the top-ranked Badgers did. A late showing on offense moved Wisconsin past 4th-ranked Quinnipiac in the season opener. Well, back at LeBon for Game 2 this afternoon, Badgers looking for their first sweep of 2022. Both sides locking it down on defense. It's scoreless at the first intermission. Just like yesterday, scoring opens up in the second period. This time, Wisconsin strikes first. Sarah Woznovich buries down low for goal #1. Well, the Bobcats, they are looking to retaliate. Plenty of traffic in front of the goal. They're able to flip one in to tie it up, and that's just how this game ends. We'll be right back.
It's easier than ever to get quality health insurance plans on healthcare.gov. Thanks to COVID relief, now 4 out of 5 people can get a plan for $10 or less, including checkups, cancer screenings, and more. I'm Nick, a health insurance expert at a nonprofit in Wisconsin. There are people like me in your area who provide free help to sign up and get the best deals for you. If you couldn't afford a plan before, it's time to look again. Act now to get these new prices. Call 211 to find an expert near you or visit WISCcover.com.
Prepare to feel good in 2022. Join Planet Fitness now for zero enrollment, $10 a month till January 6th. Enjoy tons of equipment in our Cleans gloves for zero enrollment.
Zero enrollment?
And $10 a month.
That makes me so happy.
You know what else will make you happy? Blowing off steam in our judgment-free zone.
It's all about the endorphins, baby. What's up?
It's this place, I tell you.
Amen, baby.
Feel Fit-tacular in 2022 for zero enrollment, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 6th.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team advocates for you. Getting through when you can't.
We hear comments like, oh, thank you for listening. Nobody cared.
Asking the right questions.
Your customers are so frustrated. You hope to make that right.
And getting results.
They sent a water heater the next day after you told me you made the call.
When you're getting nowhere, we have the team and the resources to get answers. Call for Action, only on News 3 Now. We're taking action for you.
U.S. ad spending is set to surpass $300 billion by 2022, and the greater Madison area is poised for major growth. So now would be a great time to consider a career in multimedia sales and to join our team selling our top-rated media and digital solutions. Work for a company that offers training, autonomy, flexibility, income growth, upward mobility, and work-life balance with a competitive wage. If you have a passion to drive results for local businesses, then visit morganmurphymedia.com right now to apply.
On the next Live Before, it's another holiday weekend at the box office.
Our film critic Will Loper will have the numbers and tell us what to watch and what to skip on screens big and small.
Get more local news now with Channel 3000 Plus, our free digital streaming service that brings you area news and info 24/7 from the News 3 Now team. Channel 3000 Plus. Download it today and watch from your streaming media player or mobile device.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
Go to Amazon.com/skills to enable Channel 3000 news briefs.
Oh, a quick update. The Pack, they won, and they are going to be at home for the remainder of the playoffs. Hopefully, if they keep winning, they've got that bye, the all-important bye there, and they beat the Vikings, and, you know, playoff time is just around the corner.
Yeah, this Bears fan, I'll have to wear my Packers. I have a Packers hat that I wear every time the Packers make it to the playoffs, so
all right.
Try to spread the good cheer. Cold out there tonight. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam. Temperatures right now, single digits above and below zero, but not much in the way of wind chills.
All right, thanks so much, Gary. Go Pack, go, and good night, everybody.